people like you that are trying to come up with a solution where the world will be in 50 years. 50 years ago, this wasn't the case. Now it is. If you could see like a time-lapse video of these oceans from like, go back to like 1900 to 2019, and then go back before 1900, it was relatively unchanged for thousands of years, right? And then all of a sudden this massive change very quickly with the industrial age.
Yeah. But again, I believe this is a transition phase. It's like our modern civilization being in its sort of teenage years, and like kind of to grow out of it. And
I couldn't agree more. I hope this worry that we all have will translate into improvement of ours. And I would say the same thing. We're in some sort of adolescent stage of society and evolution. That we're in this weird sort of state where we're aware of how much we can change our environment, but also still contributing to the detriment of our environment in a non-sustainable way, and then eventually it's going to have to come to a head. You know, when you see people screaming about climate change and all these different things, I mean, this is people realizing that there's a lot going on that maybe not everyone is completely and totally aware of, and but I'm with you. I think it's good to be optimistic. It's healthier to be positive, and I think it's logical that people will find a way out of this. I really do.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not sure whether we'll be right. At least
I'm not sure either.
I hope we are. I think, and I think eventually it's going to be fine. It's just a question of how long is it going to take, how much damage will have been done in that period. But realistically, it's the only way there is a chance that we figure this out, right?
Have you faced any opposition to this? Is there anybody that thinks this is a fruitless idea? Because
Yeah.
I know there were people that were actually, I was very shocked. I read people that were actually happy that your project didn't work the first time. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
There's people that, I think it's a young thing. Right, because you're this really hopeful, young, intelligent guy who comes up with a solution. I think probably, wow, you think you're so fucking smart? Wow, fuck him, I hope it fails. And when it failed, people actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Was that, did that hurt?
No. So for me, so yes, of course, since the beginning, 2013, people, relatively small group of people, there have been people that have been opposing it, and most of them, ironically enough, are people that care about the ocean because they don't feel it's the right way to tackle the issue. And but so the way I deal with it is, and at least what I used to do in the beginning. Now unfortunately there aren't many new arguments anymore, but just basically write them out, every single argument, rationally analyze them. No emotions. Emotions only muddle your thinking in that way. And make a distinction. Okay, is this something where this person has a point? If so, great, because rather have somebody else pointing it out to me than us having to learn it in the field and having an unnecessary failure. And if the person doesn't have a point and it's just assumption or unfounded or whatever, then it's very easy for me to just ignore it. And then the question is, well, what motivates people to be negative? And I think there's probably 4 reasons. First of all, it's genuine skepticism whether it can be done, and I think that's healthy. And I think we've proved most of those arguments wrong now. But of course, there's still the whole scale-up thing, which we have to do. So still a bit of that, but it's kind of morphing now to a few other things. I think one thing is human risk perception, which sometimes I think is a cause of some opposition, where it's very easy for people to ignore the baseline when they look at risks. So you can, for example, say, okay, nuclear power is super risky, you shouldn't do that. But then if you compare it to the baseline of other sources of energy, it's actually the least risky source of energy there is. Like even solar energy causes more deaths per megawatt hour than nuclear power because people fall off roofs. So it's really, if you ignore the baseline and if you say, okay, doing this cleanup, we shouldn't do it because there's all these potential risks, right? Of potentially there's sea life that may be caught. Potentially there are these moral hazards. There's all these risks, and basically, best thing to do is not do it. What people then are ignoring is certain hazard of just hundreds of millions of plastic that's already in the ocean. And if you were to pose the opposite question and say, okay, so if I were to go to the ocean right now and just dump the equivalent amount of plastic that we were to take out, just dump it into the ocean, would you think that's a good plan? And then really the answer is no. So I think there's a bit of this, of course what we're doing is new, there are risks involved, but as long as we map them well, we take things step by step, I think they're manageable, and they're definitely not risks or reasons to not do it, because of course the baseline is that there is already doing a lot of harm being done by the status quo. So I think that's one argument behind people's opposition. There's also a bit of what I call zero-sum game bias, where people are saying, well, you shouldn't do this because the resources would be better spent elsewhere. So I op-ed in Wired a few weeks ago, people were saying, well, or just one person actually was writing where this person said, you shouldn't worry about the plastic pollution issue, you shouldn't do anything about it because climate change is the biggest issue and all our attention should go there. Plastic pollution is just a distraction. And
That's foolish.
well, yeah, I think there's 7.5 billion people in the world, and we can do more than one thing at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, should you not wash your dishes because your carpet is dirty? It doesn't make any sense. Both of them are a problem. Clean both of them. This idea that you should only think about climate change. It's like, oh, don't think about the giant Pacific garbage patch that's twice as big as Texas?
Right.
Are you fucking serious? It's a dumb argument. Both of them are important. To think about both of them are important, but a part of writing an article today is writing something that people will get upset about. That's part of it, is like generating outrage, clickbait stuff, having controversial opinions, being a contrarian. All those things are profitable today. And it's a giant part of why people write articles. They don't write articles. They don't write articles to state an objective, well thought out perspective. Always. Sometimes people do, but a lot of times people make some clickbaity bullshit and they kind of twist a story, twist an idea of who you are, twist it to sort of make their narrative be more compelling, and sell more or click more and get more ad sales.
Yeah, I wonder whether that's in part behind the growing tribalism, polarization.
Social media. I mean, the fact that Facebook's algorithms, in a sense, support outrage, right? Like these things are designed to support. My friend Ari Shafir tested this, and it's really interesting because he tested it to find out what does it actually support. What it actually supports is what you're interested in. And if you're interested in being outraged, it'll show you the things that outrage you. So he decided to just only YouTube puppies. And that's all YouTube would show him, is puppies. He's like, no, you asshole. This is what you're into. If you're into fucking getting mad about the border and getting mad about the climate and getting mad about abortion and getting mad about whatever the fuck it is, that's what it'll show you because that's what you're interested in. You know, my YouTube feed is mostly muscle cars and fights. Like, why? Because that's what I'm interested in. You know, I'm interested. That's and occasionally science things. But that's just because that's what you search for. It'll show you what you search for.
I'm sure you're somewhat happy that it shows you those things.
Yes, sure. I don't think it's as sinister as people want to say it is. I think the issue is human nature. We are compelled to get upset about things, and I think a lot of it is people that feel disempowered in their own existence. The people that you were talking about, that are stuck in cubicles and that are staring at that clock, waiting for the buzzer to ring so they can go home. Those people are online. They're tweeting, they're taking a shit, tweeting, fuck this guy's little kid thinks he's gonna fix this fucking fixing shit. There's a lot of what's going on. There's a lot of people that are upset because it's fun to be upset when your life sucks. It's fun to shit on somebody. It's fun to get mad about the border when, you live in fucking South Dakota, you're nowhere near the border. What are you worried about? What you're worried about, you're just angry. People are just angry. It's like these aren't logical discussions that people are having. They're shout-offs and it's a natural part of human nature to get upset about stuff. And You know, and even some